Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the multi-billion-dollar herbal supplement industry to reveal the surprising and honestly sometimes downright dangerous pharmaceutical reality hiding inside. I'm so glad you're here with us. We're about to jump into a fascinating, heavily sourced deep dive into a question that literally affects millions of us every single day.
So let's just dive right in. What is actually inside your herbal supplement? I mean, we buy these things for wellness, for vitality, for natural healing, right? But today we're asking what exactly is hiding inside those quote-unquote 100% natural capsules sitting in your medicine cabinet right now. Trust me, the truth is going to fundamentally change how you view the entire wellness aisle. Now, to kick off this investigation, we really need to get our baseline vocabulary straight. See, a daily nutritional supplement, like an isolated vitamin or mineral, is chemically very different from a plant-based herbal remedy, which actually uses whole plants or extracts to get a therapeutic effect. And both of those, well, they're entirely different from a highly diluted homeopathic treatment, which, believe it or not, actually has no physical molecules of the original substance left in it. Keeping these distinctions in mind is going to be our compass for navigating the rest of this.
All right, Section 1, the all-natural illusion.
When analytical chemists actually test these supposedly pure botanical products, they uncover a pretty startling pattern. People buying natural supplements for, say, sexual performance, they're often secretly ingesting sildenafil. Yep, that is the exact active pharmaceutical ingredient found in Viagra. Or folks looking for natural weight loss, they're routinely and unknowingly taking sibutramine, which is a banned pharmaceutical. And natural joint pain relief, that is frequently spiked with dexamethasone, a super potent synthetic corticosteroid. Basically, the health benefit you're looking for is being artificially delivered by undeclared, heavy-duty pharmaceutical adulterants.
And the fallout from this is huge. According to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, adverse reactions to tainted dietary supplements are responsible for more than 23,000 emergency room visits every single year. 23,000. These aren't just harmless placebos. These hidden drugs have very real, very dangerous side effects. We're talking severe drops in blood pressure, liver damage, and serious cardiovascular issues.
But it gets even crazier. Consider this number. Of all the adulterated dietary supplements identified in an FDA report between 2007 and 2012, over 95% were products claiming to enhance sexual performance. 95%. That means pretty much all of these specific natural products flagged in the report were secretly laced with synthetic drugs, explicitly designed to mimic the exact effects of prescription meds.
Which brings us to Section 2, why spike herbal products?
So you got to ask yourself, why would a manufacturer intentionally spike a botanical product in the first place? Well, if we follow the money, the motive is purely economic. Adding cheap, ultra-potent synthetic drugs ensures the product actually works, and works fast. And what does that do? It drives massive repeat sales from consumers who are totally convinced they've just discovered some miracle herb. On top of that, isolating and synthesizing chemicals in a lab is often way, way cheaper than going out and agriculturally sourcing, harvesting, and processing high-quality, authentic, raw plant materials. It is, plain and simple, economically motivated adulteration.
By secretly adding a synthetic drug like sibutramine into, say, a weight loss tea, a manufacturer effectively creates a highly profitable, totally unregulated drug operation that's just cleverly disguised as a harmless natural remedy. It's the ultimate wolf in sheep's clothing. They rake in the profit margins of a massive pharmaceutical company, but they completely bypass all those costly clinical trials and safety regulations.
Let's move on to Section 3, the regulatory Wild West.
Now you're probably wondering how on earth these spiked products even make it onto store shelves to begin with. The secret lies in how they're classified. In a lot of regions, calling a product a food supplement gives these companies a cheap, lightning-fast route to market. Because they're regulated under standard food legislation, they face way lower safety scrutiny. The only catch is they can't make specific medicinal claims. On the flip side, look at traditional herbal medicinal products, or THMPs. Those are regulated by strict medical agencies like the MHRA. They demand absolutely rigorous quality standards, concrete proof of safety, and evidence of at least 30 years of traditional use. So by just slapping the word supplement on the label, bad actors can completely slip through the cracks of that strict THMP oversight.
But hey, it's not a total free-for-all. Regulators do have a really powerful tool up their sleeve. The exact second a manufacturer slips a synthetic pharmaceutical into a botanical mix, it legally crosses a massive red line. It instantly transforms from a dietary supplement into an unapproved illegal drug. And that vital legal distinction,
That is exactly what allows regulators to step in, enforce strict penalties, yank these products right off the shelves, and protect us.
Let's shift gears for Section 4, Science of Standardized Herbs.
Because stepping away from the illegal spiking for a second, there's actually a perfectly legal, highly scientific reason why modern herbal supplements are blurring the line with pharmaceuticals. You see, nature is incredibly unpredictable. The potency of a plant can completely change based on its genetics, the soil it grew in, or even just the weather that season. To overcome that natural roller coaster, manufacturers use a process called standardization. First, they harvest the raw plant material. Then they apply heavy-duty industrial solvents and chemically isolate specific active marker compounds. This totally shifts the final product away from being a natural, whole plant and moves it much closer to a concentrated, synthesized drug.
There's a really distinct trade-off happening here. Whole herbs rely on nature's complex, kind of chaotic chemistry. They contain a whole diverse mix of interacting compounds that researchers think might actually work in synergy together to be safer or more effective. The downside? Their potency varies wildly. Standardized supplements, on the other hand, prioritize batch-to-batch chemical consistency. By isolating just one or two active constituents, they offer really precise pharmaceutical-grade dosing. It's perfectly legal, and it's incredibly effective for getting an exact dose, but it totally explains why your modern herbal supplement functions so much like a conventional lab-made drug.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, Protecting Your Daily Health. So, with illegal adulteration happening on one side and this highly concentrated standardization on the other, how do you actually navigate this complex market safely? Well, here is your game plan. First off, you gotta be a critical consumer. Reject any products making extreme, drug-like miracle claims, especially if they're for weight loss or sexual enhancement. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Second, read those labels like a hawk. If you spot isolated chemical names like ascorbic acid, you're looking at a synthetic nutrient cooked up in a lab, not a whole food. Third, keep an eye out for official regulatory stamps, like the traditional herbal registration marks, or look for rigorous third-party testing. And finally, always consult a healthcare professional, because these powerful biological agents can dangerously interact with your actual prescription medications.
We're going to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought to chew on. The next time you're browsing the wellness aisle, asking yourself what you are truly putting into your body, consider this. If a natural supplement has been highly processed, chemically standardized, or even secretly spiked to work exactly like a prescription drug, is it really still a supplement at all? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Stay curious, stay informed, and seriously, always read the label.